and welcome to another Mythology Monday with me, your host Alice. You might notice in the next few videos that my hair color changes. Yeah, I did a lot of hair dyeing in the last little while, so apologies for that. But now let's also, you'll notice there are new books behind me. My son currently is getting over my bout of COVID, and that I so kindly shared with him. And so he is in the basement where I usually record my videos, so I'm in front of his bookshelf today. Hence the Dog Man and Plants vs. Zombies everywhere. And bad guys and delightful books for children. But anyway, back to Mythology Monday. So today we are going to talk about centaurs. So you probably remember we've been doing a series where we talk about all the different mythology animals and creatures and that, many of whom founded the line of Mytera because they were half human and half animal, or half monster, we'll say. And then they went on to have all human children who then created Mytera line. So today's creature of choice is the centaurs. Now, for anyone who does not know, a centaur is half man, half horse. Typically, the top half is the human part, the bottom half is a horse, and a female version of a centaur is called a Centauride. I did not know if you knew that. I did not know that. So, there are a ton of stories out there that feature centaurs, especially in Greek mythology. I went looking on Wikipedia just to kind of get a rough idea of how many existed. There were over 100 different stories listed there. So yeah, if you ever want to know more about them, there are so many stories out there that you can peruse. Just start on Wikipedia and see the different stories, and from there you can go and find ones that fit your genre taste and the style and things like that for you. So they are not simply found in Greek mythology. That is, of course, where I was introduced to them. I think many of us were introduced to them in Fantasia as children, where we got to see them with the music and the dancing satyrs and centaurs and everything before that creepy guy who later I found out was Zeus came and threw lightning at everybody. But so they can be found all over the place. They're found in Greek mythology, they're found in Russian folklore, in Indian stories. The Indian ones actually are some of the oldest. They date back as far as 2600 BC. So these guys have been around for a very long time, much longer than I ever thought or realized that they were around for, which actually I think is really cool. So something that I learned when I was doing the research for this particular video was how centaurs were started. It had never occurred to me how they actually came about in folklore or mythology and that type of thing. And the story is actually really cool. So it is suspected that the idea of centaurs started when a non-riding culture came across nomads who actually were riding on their horses. So now picture this, if you've never seen someone on horseback before, and then you walk into this field and suddenly all these guys are riding around on horseback, and you can't really see where their legs are and that, you just see this person sitting on top of a horse riding around. Very easily you can understand how that might be misconstrued as being half human, half horse. So especially if the head of the horse is wearing a significant amount of armor or something to cover and protect it from the elements or from fighting people in that when you are the rider on it. So I think that really makes sense to me as where the idea of a half human, half horse originated from. And then from that, it spiraled into thousands of years of stories relating to this half human, half horse culture and people. So I thought that was ridiculously fascinating. Sometimes it's more cool to find out the history and where these sorts of mythology creatures came from than it is to just learn about what we believe in them in the first place. So that was definitely the case for centaurs for me. So I hope you learned something new today, because I certainly learned a lot researching this. And just for fun, here's a picture of a centaur. My favorite one, or one of my favorite ones that I've come across, is the one in Harry Potter where he warns Harry about the dark forest and the things that are yet to come. So they are often known as prophesizing or being able to read the stars in ways that normal humans can't, which is also a really fun fact about them. So yeah, thank you for joining me on Mythology Monday. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and I will see you next week. And until then, happy reading. Bye.